Portmanteau and Logue. Welcome back to the Crucible of Tomorrow. Today, we're diving into a topic that I find endlessly fascinating: the incredible, sometimes uncanny, relationship between science fiction and actual scientific advancement. It's not just escapism, is it? It's often the literal blueprint for our future.
Absolutely, Peter. It's often dismissed as just stories, but when you look at the trajectory of innovation, so many foundational ideas first took root in the imaginative soil of science fiction. It's like a sandbox for impossible ideas that somehow become possible.
A sandbox, or maybe even a prophecy, Anastasia. I mean, how many times have we seen something on screen or read about it in a book, and then a few decades later, it's in our hands? It gives manifesting your destiny a whole new technological spin.
It's the ultimate thought experiment, isn't it? Without the practical constraints of how do we build this now, it allows creators to explore the theoretical extremes. And then, once the idea is out there, it sparks that how do we actually make this work challenge for engineers and scientists.
Exactly. Let's start with part one: science fiction as the catalyst for innovation. Think about something as mundane as our smartphones today. Before the 1960s, a portable, two-way communication device was pure fantasy. Then Star Trek came along with the communicator.
Oh, the flip-open communicator. It normalized the idea of instantaneous handheld contact. Now, our smartphones do so much more than just communicate there. Mini computers, cameras, navigators. It's a direct descendant aesthetically and functionally from that fictional device.
It's wild how pervasive that image became. Kids growing up seeing Captain Kirk flip open his communicator thinking, I want one of those. That collective desire, that cultural imprint, surely nudged engineers in a specific direction.
And it wasn't just Star Trek. Look at Arthur C. Clarke. In 1945, he publishes an essay in Wireless World proposing using rockets to place satellites in geostationary orbit for global communication. This wasn't just a story. It was a technical paper born from a sci-fi mind.
And that concept, purely from sci-fi speculation, became the bedrock of modern telecommunications, television broadcasting, and GPS. It's not just inspiration, it's a foundational technical blueprint in plain sight.
Which really highlights that science fiction isn't just about the fiction part. It's often about applying scientific principles, even theoretical ones, to imagine future possibilities. Clarke had a solid understanding of orbital mechanics. He just took it to the next logical, yet at the time, impossible step.
It's about having the audacity to dream without immediate limits. We see it in medicine too, bionics and prosthetics. Steve Austin, the $6 million man with hyper-advanced limbs. That wasn't just entertainment, it was a vision for what a human could achieve, pushing past current physical limitations.
Today, we're nowhere near that greater than human strength, but the research into neurointegrated prosthetics, advanced materials, they're all aiming for parity, and eventually, who knows? The goal is to surpass, to heal, to enhance. That initial spark for so many medical researchers often comes from these fictional heroes.
And virtual reality. Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash from '92 imagined a fully realized interactive virtual world, the metaverse. That book, amongst others, really drove the development of computing interface technologies that are now essential tools for architecture, surgery, pilot training. It's incredible.
It provides the necessary permission to dream big, doesn't it? It demonstrates that the current state of technology is temporary, fostering a culture where solving the impossible is the primary goal. It's saying, this is what it could be, now go figure it out.
It's also about preparing us mentally. When you've seen a concept play out in fiction, it makes it less alien, less threatening, more like an inevitable progression when it actually starts to appear in real life. We're already somewhat comfortable with the idea of a metaverse, for example, because we've read about it, watched it.
But what if the permission to dream big isn't just about human imagination? What if the acceleration wasn't purely organic? This brings us to part two, a much more speculative, but equally compelling question. Have we reverse-engineered alien technology?
Ah, the big one. If science fiction provides the evolutionary path, slow and iterative, then the acquisition of extraterrestrial technology would be a sudden, revolutionary shortcut. This forms the backbone of many theories around UAPs and the sometimes unexplained acceleration of technology in the 20th century.
It's the ultimate cheat code, as the prompt mentions. The core premise is that humanity, intentionally or accidentally, recovered advanced craft or materials of non-human origin. And Roswell, 1947, is always the poster child for this.
From a historian's perspective, I have to emphasize that there's no publicly verifiable, definitive evidence for this. But the hypothesis is incredibly persistent, fueled by classified reports, whistleblower testimonies, and of course, the inherent mystery of UAPs themselves. It's a compelling narrative, regardless of its factual basis.
But you can't deny the timing of some of these breakthroughs. The near instantaneous development of exotic materials after WW2, superalloys, composite, specialized ceramics. Proponents argue this might be attributed to studying components found in recovered craft. The materials jump was significant, almost too fast.
And the transistor. Invented at Bell Labs in 1947, the very same year as Roswell, it revolutionized electronics. While official history credits specific scientists, some speculative historians suggest principles derived from recovered technology provided the theoretical leap needed for miniaturization and digital computing.
It's a powerful coincidence, isn't it? When you look at how quickly computing evolved from vacuum tubes to microchips, it does make you wonder if there wasn't an outside influence, a nudge in a direction we hadn't conceived of yet.
I think it speaks to humanity's inherent desire to find an explanation for rapid transformative change. We struggle with the idea that something can just appear fully formed. While the transistor invention was groundbreaking, it also built on decades of electrical engineering research. Attributing it solely to alien tech might diminish the very real human ingenuity involved.
But what about propulsion and energy? Modern research into quantum gravity, fusion energy, theoretical reactionless drivers, they often seem to aim for technologies that defy known Newtonian physics. These are precisely the characteristics described in credible UAP reports. If even small, inert components of an alien craft were studied, the engineering principles could provide centuries of advancement.
That's the strong point, Tom. The very direction of some of this cutting-edge research feels like it's chasing something beyond our current theoretical grasp, something that aligns suspiciously well with eyewitness accounts of UAP capabilities.
It's like we're trying to recreate something we've only seen fragments of, trying to fill in the blanks of an advanced alien instruction manual. The hypothesis offers a theoretical explanation for the apparent disparity between human ambition and the rapid realization of seemingly impossible technologies. If a civilization is millennia ahead, their discarded tech would be the ultimate shortcut.
And that's why the narrative is so compelling. It's a fantastic story, one that explains a lot of unanswered questions and feeds into our innate curiosity about what lies beyond. But as a historian, I also have to consider the incredible human effort and countless failures that underpin every major scientific breakthrough. It's rarely a clean, direct line from discovery to application.
But isn't that the point? If you have a glimpse of a working model, even if you don't understand how it works, it gives you a target, a direction. You're not starting from zero. You're reverse engineering, which is a different kind of problem solving.
That brings us to part 3, the synergy of inspiration. Whether the drive for innovation comes from a Jules Verne novel or a recovered piece of otherworldly alloy, the process of transformation remains the same. It requires human ingenuity to bridge the gap between vision and reality.
And here's where science fiction plays an even more crucial role, I think. If we are in fact studying alien technology, sci-fi is the genre that prepares the public and the scientific community for the unthinkable. It primes our minds.
That's a brilliant point, Martin. Science fiction writers, having already conceptualized wormholes, self-aware AI, civilizations vastly superior to our own, they provide the intellectual framework needed to understand and integrate truly revolutionary non-human concepts. It makes the alien less alien.
It's like cultural conditioning. If humanity suddenly had to grapple with undeniable alien tech, there wouldn't be as much shock, because the collective unconscious has already been exposed to these ideas through countless books, movies, and games.
Exactly. In this sense, science fiction acts as the collective subconscious of science, a rehearsal space for a future that might not otherwise be possible, whether that future is earned through iterative research or gifted by the remnants of visitors from the stars.
It's about expanding what we consider possible. Before Star Trek, portable communicators were magic. After, they were merely future tech. Same goes for anti-gravity or warp drive. If we ever discover real-world applications for those, sci-fi has already done the heavy lifting of making it conceptually palatable.
And it provides the language to discuss these things. Without terms like robotics or cyborgs or hyperspace, which were all born in fiction, our ability to even articulate new scientific concepts would be severely limited. It shapes our intellectual landscape.
So whether it's inspiring us to invent the iPhone, or secretly guiding us to understand materials from beyond Earth, sci-fi is always there, pushing the boundaries, asking the what-if questions that lead to how can we make it real?
Ultimately, the greatest foundational role of science fiction isn't just to predict the future, but to inspire the creation of it. It encourages every scientist, every engineer, every dreamer to look at the seemingly impossible and ask the most powerful question: how? And with that, we're out of time. Thank you, Martin, Anastasia, and Tom, for this incredible discussion.
My pleasure, Peter. Always a fascinating journey.
Thank you, Peter. It was wonderful.
Thanks for having me, Peter. Always food for thought.
And thank you to our listeners for joining us on the Crucible of Tomorrow. We'll catch you next time as we continue to explore the cutting edge of what's possible and what might just be around the corner.